Привет, друзья! Всем добро пожаловать! Привет! Присоединяйтесь! У нас сегодня прямой эфир с моей подругой из Колумбии. И сейчас она... Так, вроде бы пошло соединение. Все, друзья, всем привет! Hey there! Hello!
How are you all?
Really great. Everybody keeps coming here. Oh, you see these hearts? They are for you. Друзья, всем привет. У нас в гостях... Oh, look at these hearts. I love them.
Oh my God, it's really nice.
Добро пожаловать на прямой эфир с моей подругой из Колумбии. Сейчас она представится, назовет полное имя. Готовьте свои вопросы. Я буду периодически останавливаться как можно чаще в нашем общении и переводить вопросы, переводить ее ответы. Поэтому пишите вопросы, готовьте их сразу в комментариях, я буду их периодически просматривать. Изабелла тоже будет их видеть. И ух ты, как вас много, друзья, спасибо, очень рада всех видеть. Изабелла тоже немножечко волнуемся впервые, да, такой формат, как у Изабеллы, да, так и у меня с Изабеллой еще не было эфиров. Должно быть очень интересно, поэтому stay tuned, как говорится. See, people keep sending messages. Hello, hola. Yeah, some of my followers actually are good at Spanish, I'd say.
Excellent.
So, sweetie, could you introduce yourself? Could you say your full name? We are really curious.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Isabel Cristina Sото Gomez. Isabel Cristina, they are my first names. I have two. And I have two last names, Soto Gomez. We used to have two last names here in Latin America. I have, what?
Keep going. I'm getting ready to translate.
I am 25 years old. No, translate that because I think I said a lot.
Sure, thank you. Изабелла говорит, что она успела сказать, что ей 25. У нее два имени, две фамилии. Изабель Кристина Сото Гомес. So it's a Russian version of your name. И в Латинской Америке, если вы не знаете, в Латинской Америке два имени и две фамилии. So may I ask you a question? So if you get married, not if, when you get married, are you going to change your last name? Если Изабелла выйдет замуж, будет ли она менять свою фамилию?
No, when I get married, I keep my two last names the same. Sometimes before, like 50 or 40 years ago, I will keep my first name, but after my first name, was like and the last name of my husband. So I will be like Isabel Cristina Soto de Gomez. That is my boyfriend's last name. So my mother was Gomez Ramirez, and now she is Gomez de Soto from my father, but I don't like that at all.
But she has that.
Yeah.
Oh, she actually has.
Yeah, like she's from Soto. No, she's not.
I see. Yeah, it's better to keep your last name, right?
Yeah.
Изабелла говорит, что раньше, лет 50 назад, когда люди женились, выходили замуж, что женщины, девушки фамилию, первую фамилию оставляли, а вторую фамилию брали, первую фамилию мужа, и между первой и второй фамилией они ставили приставку «де», то есть, например, Изабелла Сото де Гомес, к примеру. То есть Гомес — это фамилия мужа могла быть, а ее первая фамилия Сото. И вот, в общем, такая странная привязка, что она принадлежит к семье мужа теперь. So, tell us a little bit about the place where you live right now.
Okay. Now I live with my boyfriend. We are still not married, but we are going to marry. I live in Medellin, and the city is amazing. The weather, I really like it. And this is a little of my home. This is the what I'm more proud about. Oh my God, I make a mistake here. Okay,
It's good. It's good.
this is the
Even.
garden. Love it a lot.
Oh yeah. Are these real flowers?
Yeah, they are all real flowers. We live
Wow.
like in a eternal spring city, and we don't have seasons. We don't have winter, so the flowers, the plants doesn't die and then go live again. They live all the year, but the flowers they do and they come out again, as you see, is nature.
So they blossom all year long.
Yeah, but in different cycles. We can
Mm-hmm.
have this blossom, and for example, this one, they have it has flowers, but in this moment, it doesn't. They didn't have flowers, and now they have.
All
So
right.
I like nature cycles. They are like persons. They are not always fertile, but now some of them are.
That's super beautiful. I love that you have this little garden in your
Yay.
balcony. Изабелла рассказывает, что она живет в Медельине. Это город вечного, город вечной весны, потому что у них не бывает сезонов. Про это мы сейчас поговорим. И кто-нибудь слышал про Медельин, кстати? Слышали про такой город? Ставьте плюсики или да, нет. И Изабелла говорит, что у нее на балконе растут цветы, которые, ну, могут цвести в любое время года, конечно, проходя через определенные циклы, но, тем не менее, они цветут постоянно. You're nodding like you know what I'm talking about. Do you secretly speak Russian?
No, no at all. But when I stayed in Russia for 2 months at the last, I understood the context because sometimes someone was fighting, and I understood the fight. I don't know how, but I understood why were they fighting, and I was like, but they were fighting in Russian. How did I understand? But I didn't understand the words, but why the context. But now I don't have that ability now.
Oh, where was it once again?
In Russia.
Oh,
I
when
was
you were in
understanding
Russia.
Russian at the end of my stay. But
All
now,
right.
no.
Угу. Изабелла очень активно кивала, пока я переводила наш диалог, и поэтому я спросила, неужели она понимает по-русски, и на что Изабелла сказала, что может понимать, о чем люди, да, ругаются. Было при ней случай драки, и она могла понять, что из-за чего люди ругаются, но не все понимала по-русски. Так мы плавно подошли к тому, что Изабелла была в России какое-то время. So, we gradually came to the point where you're going to tell us about your Russian experience.
Okay, yay. Of course. I've been to Russia like 7 years ago. I'm going to be 7 years. Oh my God, I feel really old. I was 19 when I was there. I went to Rostov-on-Don.
Rostov-on-Don.
It was a really great city. And I was like getting used to the city. I had my routine. I went alone on the bus. I really love that. I went to camp. Oh, no, okay.
All right, I'm going to quickly translate.
Okay.
Изабелла была в России, в Ростове-на-Дону, приехала по программе обмена в летний лагерь, и она рассказывает, что это было лет 7 назад, достаточно давно. И она говорит, что у нее была уже определенный уклад жизни сложился, что она даже на автобусе регулярно ездила. So you said that it was okay for you to take a bus regularly and travel around. How was that language barrier issue going on? How did you solve that?
It was really hard, actually, because people that didn't speak English, they didn't pay attention to me. But I love that young people love to try to communicate however they could, and they were really nice to me. And I went with ISEC, and they made this bond that never let us feel alone. and they helped us a lot. They gave us advices, and I knew that could talk to young people and they will help me.
Mm-hmm. So there was always someone next to you
Yeah,
when you were
and
traveling.
I also use the translator, and I always walk with my dictionary, and if I couldn't communicate, I look the dictionary and the word and show like, yeah, help.
Oh, that's nice. Were people helpful? Were they trying to talk to you English or?
For example, I have a really good experience at the camp. I went to a camp in Tuapse.
Mm-hmm.
It was from the PIA, I don't know, RIA, from the railroads.
Oh, railroad. Okay.
And I went to the camp, and we were very alone because the ones who knew English were the teachers, so they couldn't be with us.
Okay.
And sometimes we stayed alone with no communication, and the security men, they spoke no English at all, but they live in the same cabin like us, and they try to communicate to offer us water, and we, with the gestures and all, we communicated a lot. So the learning from that when you want to communicate, you do. If you don't speak the language, you do with your body, with your face, with everything. And I really love that they did that effort. They were very excited with us, and they were always helpful, and they spoke no English at all.
That's sweet. See, that's the direct proof that you
Yeah.
don't really need to know the language perfectly, right?
Uh-huh.
Изабелла рассказывает, что когда она была в России, она приехала в Ростов-на-Дону, потом поехала в лагерь в Туапсе, и ей достаточно часто помогали, и она скачала словарь русский, и переводчик, и вот ходила, и пробовала так общаться с людьми. И говорит, что была ситуация с охранниками, которые по-английски не говорили, и you keep sending messages. И она говорит, что была ситуация, когда охранники не понимали, что она говорит, соответственно, охранники наши не говорили по-английски, и они жестами спокойно коммуницировали, и воду передавали, и дорогу уточняли, то есть с помощью жестов, жесты спасут мир, как говорится, ну, точнее, теперь будет так говориться, не только красота. И таким образом она нормально себя чувствовала вполне комфортно в России. So, you know Russian alphabet, right? And you can read that. So there are some messages here. If you scroll up, you can see some of them. Can you read everything that people keep writing? So can you try to read? Can you read something, or you're not prepared for that? It's
No,
totally...
I can try.
All right. Я попросила Изабеллу прочитать что-нибудь из ваших комментариев на русском.
I'm gonna try to read. Okay.
Okay.
Нереально его выучить. Ты всю жизнь будешь учить.
Oh my God, this is so good.
I don't know.
That was literally, I didn't see the text, but I got everything you said. It says it's impossible to learn Russian. You're gonna learn, I believe they talk about Russian, I'm not sure. But the message is, it's impossible to learn it. You're gonna learn it your entire life.
Yeah. For example, that's the reason I don't want to start learning German, because life is too short to learn German. I don't know, or Chinese. But...
Друзья, всем привет! Hola, Alice! There's my friend from Italy joining us. She speaks Spanish, by the way. That's the only way we communicate with her, too. Изабелла согласна, что новые языки, когда начинаешь учить, это всегда небольшой челлендж для тебя. Вы такие лучезарные. Oh, people say that we kind of light up the room.
We kind of like what?
We light up the room.
Okay.
That's sweet. Okay, so let's talk. I'm super curious about your languages. Can you share with us how many languages you speak, or how many languages you can, I don't know, in how many languages you can express yourself? Я спросила Изабеллу, сколько языков она знает, на скольких языках она хотя бы может выразиться.
No, I speak Spanish as a native language, and then I learn English. And after that, I learned Portuguese, and I love learning languages. So my next one is gonna be French, but at the moment I speak zero French.
Zero, okay. But you just started, right? Recently.
Yay!
Isabella,
I started like Saturday.
So, like, it just happened. Изабелла знает испанский, потому что это ее родной язык. Говорит на английском, хорошо очень говорит на португальском. Она очень скромная, но на португальском очень хорошо говорит, потому что использует его на работе в рабочих целях. Сейчас начала учить французский, по-русски умеет читать. This is so brave of you and really inspiring. Can we talk about your English? When did you start learning it, and how long did it take to bring it to the spoken level, to the level that you have right now? Я спрашиваю Изабеллу, когда она начала учить английский, много ли у нее времени заняло, чтобы она дошла до того уровня, на котором находится сейчас?
Okay, I started English in the school, like everybody start, and I love the language. I love learning, and I was like, from my school, I'm not gonna learn a lot, so I asked for my mom to look for an extra course, and I started, and then I graduated from it, but it was always classes in Colombia, and I knew that if I didn't any word, the teacher will help me. And then the opportunity to go to Russia appeared, and I had to know English. I said that I knew English, but I was really nervous because I haven't never communicated with somebody that didn't speak Spanish. And I went to Russia. I was in the airport, and I was so lost, and I had to speak English. And I said, "This is it. I'm gonna know if I know English or not." And hopefully, I knew. And I arrived, and I realized that I could communicate with all my partners from the internship. So I was like, "Oh, I knew English," and I improved my English a lot in Russia. Even you don't believe me.
Really?
Because I communicated with all, of course, because it was the first time I was facing to speak a language and to survive with that. Because if I didn't know English, nobody was gonna understand me with Spanish. So it was it, and I was with people from Alemania, from Mexico, from a lot of parts of Europe, Turkey, and if we didn't speak in English, we couldn't communicate, and they taught me a lot, and they showed me that I knew, like, oh my God. And I keep practicing a lot after in classes. I took classes in English. And then I received Armenia, and she helped me a lot too. And I practice in the work because sometimes I have meetings, and I hope that I don't get rushed.
Right. Yeah, like just take it slow and enjoy it. I think you're doing really great. Изабелла рассказывает, что начала учить английский еще в школе, но, естественно, как и у всех у нас, там особой системы образования супер космической не было, и она начала говорить, практиковаться со школьных лет, потом ходила на дополнительные занятия, на курсы по английскому языку, но при этом всегда общалась на английском с людьми, которые, если что, поймут ее на испанском. И самый трудный период начался, когда она прилетела в Россию, когда у нее появилась возможность отправиться на летнюю стажировку. И вот она, будучи студенткой последнего курса, если не ошибаюсь, it was the last year of your university, right, when you came to Russia?
No, it was the second year.
Oh, the second year. Wasn't it winter there? Didn't you have classes?
Actually, it was in summer.
Okay.
And everybody was asking me if Russia was cold, and oh my God, were you really cold? How cold is it? And I was like, no, it was like here, it was like Medellin, it was summer. I don't know why they were asking me that it was so cold, and I knew that Russia had this fame for being so cold, and I was like, oh, I had to go in winter.
Which was false, but you expected that, right?
And the cold
Kind of,
winter.
yeah, you kind of were hoping to get there to
Yeah,
the
I would
cold.
really now go to know the winter because I don't know snow. I don't know if this may look surprising for somebody. I would really like to know it, but just one time because everybody says snow is really nice to know, but not to live in.
Not at all. I share that opinion. Изабелла говорит, что ни разу не видела снег в своей жизни, и для нее это большая мечта увидеть снег. Но люди ей говорят, что снег, ну, это здорово один раз увидеть, но жить в снежном, ну, в заснеженном месте или там, где часто идет снег, не рекомендуется. И я согласилась, я сама не любитель снега. И вернемся к рассказу об Изабелле. Она прилетела в Россию летом, когда была на втором курсе университета, то есть это была такая студенческая стажировка для нее. И здесь она впервые заговорила полноценно на английском языке, потому что было очень много ребят со всего мира, из Германии, Мексики и тоже из Колумбии, из разных стран, и, соответственно, нужно было с ними как-то общаться. You know, I remember the story that happened to me as well. It was super similar. I went to Barcelona to study Spanish in a language school, and all I did is I improved my English. I didn't move from my level of Spanish, like not in a bit, but my English became way better because it was an international group of people, and of course it's like it's easier to speak English.
Yes, they have a lot. And it was like, I don't know some words, I know words in English because I don't know this word, but I realized that it was not a common word and then the others didn't know at all. So I was like, oh, I
I
knew
love
the
that. I love that. Отличный момент, о котором Изабелла рассказала. Она смотрела, она общалась с иностранными ребятами здесь, в России, и рассказывает, что не знала многих слов, и первое время это ее смущало, но потом она выяснила, что эти ребята тоже этих слов не знают, и эти слова не такие уже популярные, и из чего сделала вывод, что эти слова можно заменить другими, более простыми. Так что вам отличный лайфхак, берите на вооружение. Let's scroll up. There was Paulina, which said her boyfriend is Argentinian. I didn't have a chance to comment, right? And she says she gets confused because of this second name story as well. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any advice to that or any comment?
I don't know. I think it's to keep the names from your parents, from both of them, to identify the both families and not just one. Because I think, like in America and in the United States, that you keep just one name, like you go and belong to the other family. But I think that the two last names are to keep the memory of your father and your mother. I think, like Soto and Gomez.
That's
Like
really profound.
Yeah, to don't miss your mother, I think. For example, in Brazil, the first last name of them is the mother's last name, and the second is the father's. But in Colombia and the rest of Latin America, first is the father's last name and the mother's last name. But I prefer Brazilian. I think it's nicer.
That's really, I think I've heard of that, but I didn't pay attention. Я перевела комментарий Полины. Полина говорит, что у нее молодой человек из Аргентины, и вот она тоже путается в этих фамилиях, почему две фамилии. И Изабелла говорит, да, это такая дань уважения своей семье и память о своих родителях, что они вот с тобой, ты носишь и фамилию мамы и фамилию отца вместе с собой всю жизнь и не меняешь на фамилию мужа. Говорит, в Бразилии немножечко по-другому, тоже две фамилии, но первая фамилия — это фамилия мамы, а вторая уже фамилия папы, отца. So do you have any advice for a foreigner that moves to South America or Latin America? and it has just one last name. What are we gonna do?
I know. I don't know. I think everybody will understand that you'll have one last name. And in fact, in the articles, international articles, where usually they have just one last name, what people used to do is to make this, to put Soto Gomez together, but with the line between it.
Oh, right. I see that.
Like, just one name. Like Soto.
Isabella, oh, you're writing it in the chat?
And it would be like just one last name for articles and international issues.
Nice. Изабелла говорит, что если латиноамериканцев представляют в каких-то международных журналах, да, или там где-то упоминаются имена в международных источниках, то две фамилии берут и просто соединяют, превращают в одну фамилию, и между ними ставят тире. И я спросила, какой совет она даст иностранцам, которые приезжают с одной фамилией, и она говорит, что это вполне нормально. But, alright, what if a Russian girl, let's say, comes to South America and marries some hot Latin guy? What's gonna happen with our last name?
I don't know. I think she would keep the last name.
Just that.
But if she would like to, she could change it. But I think no. I think that will still be in Armenia Ganesha when you marry a Latin guy.
Изабелла говорит, что... Ну, я спросила, что делать, да, если русская девушка приезжает в Латинскую Америку и либо остается, либо выходит замуж за латиноамериканца, и она говорит, что просто оставляешь свою фамилию, можешь ничего не менять, то есть тут каких-то определенных правил нет. Alright.
I have a question.
Sure.
Because I also have a confusion with the middle name from Russia, that is like your father's name, but with a termination.
Right.
If you are a girl or a man, like how does it work? Like, will I middle name?
That's an interesting question. Изабелла теперь спрашивает про отчество наше. В английском есть такое понятие, как middle name, это второе имя. Но у нас в России middle name нет, но так как она говорит такими более англоязычными понятиями, она наше отчество называет middle name. So look, the middle name, it's not exactly the middle name. It's not your name at all, but it's your father's name, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a girl and your dad is, I don't know, Victor, let's say, you are Helen, Yelena, and your dad is Victor. So your like official formal name for like formal cases is Yelena Viktorovna. So you just add this vna for the girl, and if it's a guy, for example, Yuri Viktorovich, you put Vich at the end of your father's name, or you put vna at the end of your father's name if you're a girl. So like, it sounds complicated, but if you write it down, you'll see that it's just, you take your name and you add your father's name, and that's your official, like, formal way to be called. Yeah, well, it actually sounds interesting. It could be considered as the middle name, right?
Okay. O sea, I mean, it just used in formal situations.
Super formal situations. And you know that most of Russians have like that full name, and you can make the short nickname out of your full name, like not a real nickname, right? For example, Yelena is Lena, Olga, Oля, I don't know, Victor, Vitya. So it's the same name, like basically the same name, but for your friends, for the people that you are on the first name basis, you're gonna use that short name.
Yeah, I really remember that because a lot of everybody told Nastya, and I was like, wasn't she Anastasia? No, Nastya is.
Right?
I say.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was really, I love that.
Exactly. Окей, с вами закончим. Давайте вернемся в Медельин. Друзья, вопросы еще есть? Пишите Напоминаю, у нас прямой эфир с Изабеллой из солнечного города Медельин, города вечной весны, где погода не меняется ни один день в году. Каждый день вечная весна. Let's talk about the city. Nice. Let's talk. I love when you send messages. Let's talk about the city of eternal spring.
Ah, yay.
Tell us more about that. Tell us more about your city.
Okay, my city is the second important city in Colombia because the capital is Bogota, but then it comes Medellin. It's a really innovative city. It has won a lot of awards about innovation because they want to make a cluster, a technological cluster here for all Latin America. And they are making a lot of software development right now here in the city. It's going very innovative, and this used to be an industrial city with a lot of factories, but now it is turning more into a services city. If you want to translate it, and I continue.
Sure, sure. Если коротко, то Медельин — это второй по значимости город в Колумбии. Первый город — это столица Богота. И I remember at school we used to learn it as Santa Fe de Bogotá. Like,
See?
Nobody says that, right?
No, nobody, because it's like same fate of Bogota. No.
Yeah, like it's too much. Мы в школе, когда учили на уроках географии, наверняка вы тоже с этим сталкивались, мы учили полное название столицы Колумбии Санта-Фе-де-Богота. Богота, Богота, да, нам никто так правильно и не говорил, как правильно, да, и оказывается, что никто не говорит это полное название. Богота — это столица Колумбии, просто Богота. И вот Богота — это первый город, естественно, это столица, но Медельин — это второй по значимости город, и он достаточно индустриальный, достаточно современный, много различных разработок проводят, различные исследования, то есть город такой динамично растущий и развивающийся. But okay, you wanted to add something, and then I will ask my question.
Okay. I continue, and okay, my city is surrounded by mountains, so it is a valley, and that was really strange when I go.
Valley?
Yeah.
Like in Indonesia.
I don't know Indonesian.
Okay, but never mind.
When I travel, I really miss the mountains. That's when I realize that I'm somewhere else because I see the sun and I don't see mountains at all. I love the mountains, and I think that makes that weather is like an eternal spring. We have a hot, and then we can have a rain, and then the sun comes out again. And yes, this is a really cultural city, and we had a lot of activities. We have a lot of nature near from here. We have the RV park. Do you remember?
Oh my God, it's so good. It's so great.
Yeah, we have a metro, and it is integrated to a cable. So it is really nice to travel around it. And I don't know what questions do you have?
Tell us a little bit more about that park, RV Park. What is it special about? What is special about the park?
It is a natural reservation, so people can build homes or buildings and big buildings there because you can preserve the nature. You can see a lot of birds, see animals that are from a little like kind of jungle, and it's a space, and you can breathe really good there. You can get away from the city contamination because we have a lot of pollution.
Really?
Yes, because we are a valley, so here are the clouds and the gases, the bad gases keep like here because the clouds doesn't let them go sometimes.
Okay.
But the RV park is at the top of the valley, so you can relax. It's like a very natural travel you can make and be there. It's very, very nice. You can relax there a lot.
Okay. Sweetie, a quick question. What does Bali mean?
Valle. Like when you
Ah,
have the
like a,
mountain and
all
valle.
right. Okay, all right, all right. Like a village, some kind of that oh, valley.
Yay!
Oh, all right. Got it.
I will check the
Sure,
word
sure.
in Russian.
And I'm gonna translate right now. Разобрались со словом, в одном слове возникло недопонимание. Смотрите, как рассказывает Изабелла, Медельин — это город, который окружен горами. И на спуске, на дне находится вот такая вот долина, и там расположен город. И она говорит, что очень большое загрязнение из-за того, что город индустриальный, соответственно, весь газ поднимается наверх. Долина! You're the best! I love it, you're so quick. Изабелла написала «долина» на русском языке, специально для нас перевела. И создается такой эффект загрязнения и, соответственно, очень плохой воздух, загрязненный. И для того, чтобы выбраться из этой ситуации, дышать свежим воздухом, люди выбираются в эту естественную, могу сейчас ошибиться словами, прошу прощения, по-моему, это резервация называется, такой заповедный участок, где запрещено строить дома, который находится под охраной государства, и туда ведут, соответственно, канатные дороги, и огромная территория, где много естественных, ну, много растений, много птиц, которые свободно обитают на этой территории, и много различных развлечений в виде, можно тимбилдинги устраивать, можно пикник устраивать, а можно веревочные различные здания, там, веревочные курсы устраивать. All right, we have a few comments here. The first one says, I don't really understand English. I understand little, but I can't speak myself, but I'm just listening and listening to you. That's sweet, thank you. Спасибо, друзья, что даже чуть-чуть понимая, да, вы здесь и практикуете аудирование. Уверена, вы уйдете с багажом знаний даже о стране Колумбии. And there is another comment. Pablo Escobar was born in Medellin. Okay, I know that you guys don't really like to talk about your dark past. Не очень любят, особенно медельинцы, разговаривать про темное прошлое, связанное с Пабло Эскобаром. Эту тему я пару раз поднимала во время своего путешествия, и реакция была очень острой. If I'm not mistaken, there was some reggaeton singer that came to Medellin, and he was wearing Pablo Escobar t-shirt, right? You told me that story.
I
you remember
think,
that? I think there was... Was it J Balvin? No. Who was that? No.
I think he was a foreign singer. I don't remember the story very well, but I remember that it is. And even the mayor, yeah, the mayor asked him that respect, because actually I haven't lived this story, that history, because I was born a year after he was killed, he was murdered. Right. And for the question that he was born in Medellin, he wasn't born here. He was dead here, but he was born in a town near from here, in Rio Negro, Black River. And
Rio, arriba. I love that way you say it.
and he was he put a lot of fear in the country, in the city. But I was born after he died, so I really didn't know anything about him until I get to my 8th grade to learn Colombian history. And it was like a huge piece when they killed him, because he was he did a lot of bad things and all that stuff. So now in this moment, like the city, he was killed like in 1993. We're going to be 30 years without him, and people still remembering him. And some people idolize him because, you know, there are always good people, bad people, and people don't just think that he was like a good image, but no, he was not. And maybe for ignorance that that singer had that T-shirt that he was thinking that people would like that, but actually the mayor of the city asked him to respect the city, and even the last year, it was a building that they were making tours from Pablo Escobar, the city, in that building because it was from him, and the mayor decided to put that building down and make a monument to the victims, and now they can visit that, and he always to the Pablo Escobar tours because it don't speak a lot about the city really.
I see. So
Become.
you're basically trying to get rid of this dark ages.
Yeah, I think that that is not a good memory for everyone, and that the city turned into a really different thing. 30 years, in 30 years, there are a lot of changes, and some people just want to see the thing 30 years ago and then see the actual things that are going on at the surroundings.
Okay, let me translate that.
Okay.
Все началось с Пабло Эскобара, это такая достаточно болезненная тема для жителей Медельина. Думаю, это больше касается именно жителей Медельина, потому что в остальной Колумбии, помнят о нем, но как-то остро не реагируют. Но он очень серьезно повлиял на судьбы людей, живущих в Медельине. Он не родился в Медельине, он родился в небольшом городке недалеко от Медельина, то есть в провинции той же, но его убили именно в Медельине. И если не знаете, кто такой Пабло Эскобар, посмотрите фильм, сериал, по-моему, там 3 сезона, называется «Нарко». «Нарко» или «Наркос», по-моему, «Нарко». И I'm talking about the show. И не можем мы, к сожалению, вспомнить историю, кто это именно был, но какой-то известный певец, исполнитель, который приехал в Медельин с выступлением и вот вышел во время концерта выступать в майке с Пабло Эскобаром, и тогда начались очень серьезные возмущения, до такой степени дошло, что даже мэр Медельина попросил, чтобы он уважал память и вел себя соответствующе, и снял эту. Хорошо по сей день помнят его проделки, и скоро будет отмечаться 30 лет с момента, как его убили, и люди с нетерпением ждут этой даты и отмечают, потому что он принес очень много зла. Было здание в Медельине, которое недавно снесли, это был памятник, здание, связанное с памятью об Эскобаре, его снесли, и на его месте по приказу мэра построили памятник жертвам терактов, потому что Эскобар устраивал множество страшных терактов, чтобы спасти свою жизнь. All right, let's forget about these darkest times. Let me ask you quickly, we're going to quickly go back to your school because I have a kind of an important question here, all right, about you and English, because a lot of people listening to us right now are super interested into the way you learn English, and how was the school system working in your times? Did people from your childhood speak English, or it was just a unique privilege? How did it work?
Okay, here in the schools it's like obligatory to see this subject, but in a lot of other schools, and I think it was in one, they all see birth to be all the years because somebody always forgets, and they went to the same topics every year. But I had a good teacher. I had that 14, and besides the verb to be, she started giving other tenses, and I learned a lot of her. And you have to be born like speaking your own language and speaking English, because you also talk a lot,
right,
and with confidence. Don't mind about if you totally good or not, and that's a good tip that had helped me learning and speaking languages.
Nice. Thank you for that. I'm going to translate that. Meanwhile, think of the question that I'm going to ask next about your work. All right. Друзья, что рассказывает Изабелла, мы быстренько вернулись в наше прошлое, вернулись в школьные времена, и Изабелла говорит, что мало кто говорит по-английски в Колумбии, и у нее была очень хорошая преподавательница, и у нее было вот внутреннее желание учить языки, ей было интересно. Но, говорит, тем не менее, ничего из всего, что она пробовала, не позволило ей заговорить по-английски, пока она не переступила свой барьер, не начала разговаривать и не стесняться. И вот она дала совет всем, не стесняйтесь говорить по-английски.
We have like, right now here in America has 3 countries where it works in Colombia, Argentina, and Brazil. And I learned Portuguese for a hobby, and I'm really using it in my daily job. And I speak Portuguese and I practice it a lot with them. And when I have to communicate with somebody from France or someone that doesn't understand me, we speak in English, and I also practice it, and I read that text in English, and I use the languages I know in this moment, and I'm very surprised and happy for that, because besides learning it, it's really good to practice it a lot in your daily life.
Okay, sweet. Изабелла говорит, что работает в Рено, и работает, общается, ее задача в обеспечении безопасности, в налаживании различных спорных моментов, и она общается с иностранцами регулярно, использует английский регулярно, и, как я уже говорила в начале эфира, использует еще португальский. So you say that without knowing the language, it wasn't easy to get the job that you have right now.
Yeah, because I think that it gave me like a big support, because Renault is a French brand, it's a French company, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know French, but when I arrived to the interview, they were like, you know Portuguese? And I was like, oh, yes, I know Portuguese. Why that will be helpful? I understood that it's because I work more like with Brazilian people than with French people, and that they spoke all the days, every day with people from Brazil. So when I arrived to my job, it's helped a lot to communicate with people. When you speak to the people in their own languages, they will be more helpful, more, they speak my language. So it really helped me a lot. And I was really surprised, because I didn't know that in a French company I will use Portuguese, but I'm really sorry.
But you said you improved your Portuguese there, right? Because you mentioned you learned Portuguese for work, or you just improved it at work?
I improved it at work, because
I see.
I learned, because learning languages is my hobby. So I want to learn Portuguese, and I said, oh my God, I know I'm never gonna use it, or maybe when I travel to Brazil, but actually I'm using it and improving it every day.
Love it, I love it. Изабелла рассказывает, что на работу ее приняли благодаря ее знанию английского языка и благодаря португальскому. Она очень переживала, что пошла работать во французскую компанию, не зная французского, но, как оказалось, ей дали именно Бразилию, и она часто общается с Бразилией на португальском языке. И чуть ранее я переводила, да, упоминала, что Изабелла выучила португальский для работы. Как оказалось, да, португальский она учила давно, но в рамках работы, благодаря общению, у нее уровень португальского улучшился, ну, как и английского. Let's get into, I have two questions. So first one is, tell us 3 things that we must visit in Medellin. 3 вещи, которые, берите ручку, записывайте, 3 вещи, которые, или 3 места, которые нужно нам посетить в Медельине. So what's that?
I think one of the places you have to come is to the RV park, the natural park that you can connect with the stories of the country people, because here in Colombia, it was built by country people, and we are like everybody from the mountains and from the towns, and they came to the city, and that is where our origin is, and it's really beautiful. We also need to visit the downtown and the surroundings to know the history of the city, and also go to the El Poblado and all the
Poblado is the one with Botero, the
no, it's the downtown.
Comuna 13.
Bien. You have La Comuna 13 was the city is divided in neighborhoods, but a group of neighborhoods is a comuna. It's like a subdivision from the city. And the Comuna 13 had a hard story because a lot of people that came from the towns, displaced by the violence, went there, and some people wanted to get they wanted to go out of internal violence just there, and it was very hard living there. So now they overcome that history, and they want to transmit faith and hope, and that they now can make things different. And they have this tour that they show you how they live. They have graffitis everywhere, so it's called graffiti tour because they express themselves through graffitis, beautiful graffitis. And we have to go there. When do you come? Because when you came, it didn't exist. They were in
Ah, that's what I was like. I've never heard of that place. I'm coming. I'm coming. Just wait.
Yay.
Okay, I'll tell you in person. Окей, я спросила у Изабеллы 3 места, которые нужно посетить в Медельине. Надеюсь, вы записывали. Первое место это парк RB, right? I can mispronounce it. Окей, могу ошибиться в названии. Парк RB — это тот заповедный участок, о котором мы с вами говорили в начале. Второе место — это центр города, чтобы лучше узнать историю, потому что город был построен жителями маленьких деревень, соседних из окраин, которые съехались вместе и начали строить и превращать Медельин в такой большой индустриальный центр, который сейчас начал развиваться. Второе место, и третье место, это моя подруга прокомментировала, это Коммуна 13, место, которое известно, имеет такую не очень хорошую репутацию, и это место сейчас, туда вводят туры и много красивых граффити, где можно пройтись и узнать историю этого места. Было очень много разборок там, и считался район опасным, но сейчас налаживают ситуацию, и группировки перестают друг с другом соперничать. Sweetie, we only have 5 minutes left. And I have so many questions to you, but all right, tell us 3 things. Okay, the most incredible thing, the most incredible fact about Colombia that we need to know, and the craziest thing about Russia that you will never forget.
Okay, I think that one impressive thing of Colombia is that you have a lot of landscapes, really different. You can be here in a really hot place, and then in the really cold. We have a lot of diversity, so I love that from my country, that you can get surprised and you can come and visit actually, I think Colombia is little compared to Russia a lot, so
doesn't count because you have more beauty landscapes.
And yeah, it's really different one from another. We have a lot of different cultures even here between us. And you can say that people from Bogota are some like people from Medellin or people from the coast. We are really different, and love that diversity.
Окей. Изабелла говорит, что самый необычный факт о Колумбии в том, что здесь огромное множество различных красивых пейзажей, которые разнообразятся от одного места к другому, поэтому виды не будут казаться одинаковыми и точно не наскучат. And really quickly, because it's going to turn off automatically, the thing that impressed you about Russia, or thing that you're never going to forget?
We skated to Sochi because we were in Tuapse, and it was the train and we were like crazy, and they didn't allow us to go to Sochi, but we took the train.
Oh my God, you don't have
And
trains in Colombia.
so I was really
Right.
surprised. We have the metro, but it's different, not the train. And
Окей. Изабелла говорит, что то, что ее впечатлило в России, это поезд, который она увидела из Сочи в Туапсе. Ее не пустили туда, но ее очень впечатлило. Я забыла, что в Колумбии нет поездов, и для колумбийцев это такая большая достопримечательность. Это как увидеть снег, то же самое увидеть поезд. And
I wanted to say that we made like this escape, and it was unforgettable.
That's incredible. Sweetie, thank you so much. I was just gonna send you the hugs and kisses. Thank you.
Oh no, thanks to you.
Huge thanks for this. I wanted to say intensive. It wasn't intensive. It was a live stream. I was honored talking to you. Друзья, эфир сохранится. Дам последнее слово сейчас Изабелле. Я с вами прощаюсь. Большое спасибо. Sweetie, if you have something to say at last, you can go ahead.
Thank you to you for hearing us this time. I want to encourage you to learn the language, and this is very important to go to know all the world and to communicate for job or everything. And you are so sweet. Thank you for asking. Thank you for your nice emojis, and thank you for everything.
Thank you, sweetie.
I will be available to answer.
All right. Изабелла поблагодарила вас всех и за эфир, и за ваше внимание, и за ваши смайлики и сердечки. Ей очень понравилось. Спасибо вам, друзья. Все, друзья, прощаемся. Еще раз спасибо. Сохраню, постараюсь. Надеюсь, ничего не случится.